Uncovering an international criminal, the tactics employed by Dmitry Torner to evade sanctions and the law using Moldova as a refuge. Friends, I continue to expose scammers, fraudsters, and criminals who use Moldova as a safe haven from criminal prosecution. And today we're talking about Dmitry Torner, whose real name is Dmitry Nekrasov. And it's especially important to expose him today, because recently this international criminal has been using Moldovan media as an advertising platform. He's buying glowing reports about himself, trying to create a positive image of himself. He's trying to wash himself off from any connection with international crime. Dmitry Torner, also known as Nekrasov, convicted in Moldova in 2003. They convicted Torner of fraud and drug possession, and right now behind me is a residential building located at 46 Dacha Boulevard. It's right next to the Kishinev gates of the city. That's exactly where one of the apartments is located, which Nekrasov Torner rented in 2002. However, the purpose is not to reside in it, but to subsequently remove all the valuable assets from this leased apartment and market them for sale through the publication Makler. And Torner had a whole bunch of apartments like that. At the trial, Torner kinda admitted his guilt and got sentenced to 11 years in prison. But instead of serving 11 years behind bars, Torner only did a year. Just a year after his sentence, Torner makes a jailbreak and runs off to Ukraine. A few years later, his own brother, Oleg Nekrasov, goes to the police with a fake certificate claiming the supposed death of his fugitive brother. Torner required a false death in order to have the case concluded in Moldova and halt the global manhunt for Dmitry Nekrasov, who subsequently assumed the identity of Dmitry Torner. In Ukraine, Nekrasov Torner starts collaborating with Ukrainian oligarch Dmitry Firtash, who was under the wing of criminal authority Semyon Mogilevich and engaged in machinations and theft in the energy market of Ukraine. Behind these shenanigans is not only a robber privatization, not only stolen billions of dollars through dummy companies, but behind them is major corruption, and even the murder of dissidents is implicated. The criminal authority Semyon Mogilevich has been on the FBI's international wanted list for many years. Also, at the request of American law enforcement agencies, Dmitry Firtash, the direct boss of Dmitry Torner, is wanted. Firtash and Torner have lived in Austria for almost 10 years. Where a criminal case on Firtash's extradition to the USA is being reviewed. In these photos, you can see Torner right next to Firtash in the courtroom in Vienna, where Firtash's lawyers are attempting to prolong the extradition process from Austria to the USA as Torner is present. Note that besides criminal prosecution, all characters, including Torner, are under sanctions. However, in the country of Moldova, Dmitry Torner, despite his previous convictions, despite his prison escape, despite intentionally misleading the Moldovan authorities to evade criminal responsibility, despite all of these circumstances, and despite facing criminal cases in other nations, Dmitry Torner, who is currently on our sanctions list in Moldova, feels a sense of comfort and security. It is worth noting that even in the year 2019, he was able to avail himself of the services provided by the state security agency under the Ministry of Internal Affairs in Moldova. On top of that, Torner himself becomes the president of one of the sports federations in Moldova, and he even tried to become a bureaucrat in the Olympic Committee of Moldova. But after the outrage of our country's sports community, Torner resigned and put himself in as the president of the Olympic Committee, which was specifically created for Torner. Why did Torner need to go back to Moldova, the country he fled from 20 years ago, because he didn't want to sit in prison for his involvement in fraud and drugs? The thing is, Torner has criminal cases in Ukraine. There's a criminal prosecution initiated by the Federal Bureau of Investigations in the USA. In the end, he faces sanctions. Thus, Torner, formerly known as Nekrasov, exploits corruption in Moldovan authorities to construct political cover, ensuring protection from international criminal pursuit and persecution for himself. His task is to save billions for his boss, Fiktosh, which was stolen on the energy market of Ukraine. He is in need of laundering this money and protecting himself from criminal liability. And to accomplish this, he makes use of Moldova as a country that has become a safe haven for individuals such as thieves, swindlers, scammers, and crooks. Nevertheless, Torner will not be able to elude justice. We will not allow him to live peacefully in Moldova with the bloody money that he and his boss Firtash stole from the brotherly people of Ukraine. We are going to demand his extradition from the court. We will ensure that he returns everything he stole in association with Firtash. We will ensure that he receives what is rightfully due to him. We will not cease our efforts until Torner is held accountable for all of his criminal actions. We will persist in exposing Torner and the individuals involved in his attainment of comfort and coziness within our country's borders. We will notify international organizations, investigative bodies, and government institutions regarding Torner's utilization of stolen funds to quietly and securely acquire a positive image as an alleged public figure in Moldova. We are urging law enforcement agencies to enhance their efforts in pursuing Torner and to ensure that he is held accountable for his actions. He shouldn't get away with it, and it's important for justice to prevail. It's important for Moldova to stop being a pushover for international criminals. We must fight to ensure that law, order, and justice prevail and are upheld in our country for the benefit of all. Please support our demands for the extradition of Torner. Together, we can make Moldova a country with no place for these criminals. Do not let Moldova become a safe haven for international criminals. Your support is crucial in achieving justice.